Men's and women's basketball tipped off for the entire Patriot League over the weekend as the road to the league championships began. You can look forward to the Patriot League providing you with stats and highlights every Tuesday during the basketball season right here on Road to the League Championships. We had 27 men's and women's games tip off since Friday, and we've got them all for you here. But before we get to the games, let's take a look at the first set of weekly awards in men's basketball. The Patriot League Anaconda Player of the Week in men's basketball was Vlad Moldoviano from American. The senior forward led the Eagles to a season-opening 62-52 win over St. Francis of Pennsylvania by scoring 24 points and pulling down 6 rebounds to lead a second-half rally. Moldoviano made 7 of 16 shots, including 2 of 5 from three-point range, and connected on 8 of 10 free throws in the game. He also blocked 2 shots. The Patriot League Anaconda Rookie of the Week in men's basketball was Anthony D'Orazio. The Lehigh freshman guard had a memorable career debut in a 70-56 loss at Penn State on Friday, scoring 17 points while connecting on 6 of 9 shots from the field and 4 of 7 from three-point range. All 14 points came within the first 6 minutes of his collegiate career. D'Orazio gives Lehigh 10 consecutive Rookie of the Week awards dating back to last season after C.J. McCollum won 7 and Gabe Knutson claimed 2 to close out the 2009-2010 campaign. In women's basketball, the Patriot League Anaconda Player of the Week was Michelle Kirk of American. The senior forward started the 2010-11 season right where she left off at the end of last year, netting 21 points Friday in the Eagles' 72-68 victory at East Carolina. She had a 20 more Sunday and a 60-59 loss at High Point. Against the Pirates on Friday, she set an American record for free throws made with 16, which was also 3 shy of the Patriot League mark of 19 set during the 1999-2000 season by Navy's Erica Hayes. For the weekend, Kirk averaged 20.5 points and 6 rebounds per game. She also averaged 1.5 assists per game while shooting 83.3% from the charity stripe. The Patriot League Anaconda Rookie of the Week in women's basketball was Shelby Romine of Bucknell. The freshman guard was stellar in her collegiate debut, helping the Bison post a 53-48 season-opening win at home against Rider on Friday. Romine scored 17 points, dished out 5 assists, and grabbed 1 steal and blocked a shot in 38 minutes of action. Her 17 points were the most in a season-opening game by a Bison freshman since Lindsay Hollabaugh scored 20 at the start of the 2003-04 season against West Virginia. The majority of the Patriot League opened its season Friday in men's basketball. The American Eagles were one of the few league teams to open with a win, handing St. Francis of Pennsylvania a 62-52 loss. Vlad Moldoviano led all scorers with 24 points, while Troy Brewer scored 12 in his first game as an Eagle. The American outscored St. Francis 35-16 in the second half to rally from a 9-point deficit in the win. Army also opened with a win, defeating Vassar 66-49. Julian Simmons paced the Knights with 19 points, and Jeremy Hentz had 18. Army led by 5 at halftime and built a 15-point lead midway through the second half, en route to the win. Lafayette dropped its opener 63-58 to Wagner, despite Jarrett Mint's team-high 21 points. Jim Miller added 12 points and Ryan Willen had 11. The Leopards made it interesting in the second half, shooting 54.2% from the field to take the lead with 58 seconds left, but Wagner hit a 3 and closed out the win. Bucknell lost its first of 2 against Big East opponents, falling 68-52 to number 6 Villanova. Daryl Shazier led the Bison with 12 points and Mike Muscala had 10 points and 8 boards. Lehigh led 27-21 at halftime, but Penn State outscored the Hawks 49-29 in the second half for the 70-56 win. Rookie of the Week Anthony D'Orazio scored a team-high 17 points, and Mackie McKnight had 13. On Saturday, the College of Charleston rolled out to a 52-39 lead against Holy Cross. Led by Andrew Keister, Mike Cavateo, and R.J. Evans, the Crusaders battled back in the second half, but they still lost 93-84. Keister finished with a double-double, and Cavateo and Evans tied for the team high with 16 points. Binghamton and Colgate exchanged leads throughout their game, and the Raiders were able to come back and get within 2 points with 11 seconds left, setting up this play at half court. After a timeout, the Raiders inbounded the ball, eventually got the ball to Yao Gaiwu, who nearly forced overtime with this shot. Mitch Rolls picked up the rebound and fired off this buzzer-beating shot, but it just bounced off the back of the glass and the rim and out. And with that, the Raiders lost a heartbreaker, 62-60 in their home opener. Gaiwu led the Raiders with 20 points and 5 boards. Buffalo handed Navy its second loss of the season. The Mids opened the year with a loss to Texas on Monday last week on ESPNU. Greg Bound led the Mids with 11 points against Buffalo, but it wasn't enough in the loss. On Sunday, Bucknell led Marquette by as many as 12 points early in the second half, but the Big East Power scored 24 unanswered points to hand the Bison their second loss of the season. Bryson Johnson scored a team-high 18 points for the Bison. Lafayette also dropped its second game of the year Sunday, falling 80-73 to Rider. Jim Mower scored a career-high 31 points for the Leopards in the loss. On Monday, American moved to 2-0 with a 57-44 win over Albany. The Patriot League Player of the Week, Vad Boliviano, led the way with 11 points, while Troy Brewer and Stephen Lumpkins each had 10 points. The Eagles took the lead from the start and extended it through the second half while holding Albany to 31.5 shooting percentage. Lehigh evened its record at 1-1, led by the preseason Player of the Year and reigning Player of the Year, C.J. McCollum. The sophomore scored 20 points and pulled down 11 rebounds in a 73-57 win over Wagner. Lehigh built a 40-35 lead at halftime in its home opener and pulled away in the second half while holding the Seahawks to 22 points after the break. Julian Simmons scored 23 points and Ella Ellis tallied a career-high 20 points for Army, but it wasn't enough as Central Connecticut State won 101-87 at West Point. Central Connecticut State used a 25-6 run in the second half to pull out the win. Colgate dropped to 0-2, losing another heartbreaker as they led late against St. Francis of Pennsylvania, but St. Francis went on an 11-1 run to close out the game and win 69-66. Mike Venezia scored 19 points for the Raiders, and Yao Gaiwu totaled 18. Moving to the women's scoreboard, American opened its season on Friday with a 72-68 win over East Carolina. Nearly half of the Eagles' points came from the free throw line as they made 34 of 43 attempts, led by Michelle Kirk's 16 for 18 performance. She finished with a team-high 21 points and Liz Lear had 15 points and 13 rebounds. Bucknell took the lead early in the second half and held on late to defeat Rider 53-48. Shelby Romine led the Bison with 17 points and Joyce Novacek had a double-double with 11 points and 13 rebounds. Romine was 9 of 13 from the free throw line and Novacek was 7 of 8. Navy cruised to a 57-42 win over Siena, with Angela Myers scoring 21 points and Jasmine Pitts getting 17. The Mids hit 9 threes in the win. Lehigh trailed 40-18 at halftime and rallied to cut it to 4 points with 36 seconds left, but Duquesne staved off the comeback to win 70-65. Erica Prosser, who hit a 3 to cut it to 4 points, scored a game-high 24. Kelly Peterson hit 5 threes to finish with 15 points. Holy Cross shot 52.9% from the field in the second half, but the Crusaders' comeback fell short in a 74-71 loss to Yale on Friday. Amy Lepley led 4 Crusaders in double digits with 18 points. She also had 11 rebounds and 4 assists. After a very defensive second half that had Army outscore Wagner 15-14, the Knights fell behind early in overtime and lost 52-48. Megan Mahoney led Army with 14 points and 7 boards. On Saturday, Colgate trailed by 3 at halftime but couldn't stop Rhode Island in the second half, falling 59-47. Jasmine Lynch scored 18 points for the Raiders and Krista Moser had 12 boards. On Sunday, Lafayette led late in the first half and throughout most of the second half until Bryant took the lead with 2:03 left. Melissa Downing, however, hit a layup with 5 seconds left to force overtime where the Leopards pulled away with an 84-80 win. Lakeisha Wright scored 18 points to lead the Leopards and give their new head coach Diane Nolan her first win at Lafayette. Navy improved to 2-0 with a 72-55 victory at NJIT in a game in which the Mids squandered a 19-point first-half lead. Leading 8-7 early, Navy ripped off a 24-6 run to take a 32-13 lead that eventually shrunk to 39-31 at halftime. NJIT pulled within 39-37 in the early stages of the second half, but the Mids used a 12-2 run to put the game out of reach. 5 players scored in double figures for Navy, with Cassie Considine's team-high 15 points leading the way. Angela Myers had 14. Defending champion Lehigh evened its record at 1-1 with a 72-64 win over Robert Morris. Courtney Dentler had a career-high 20 points as the Mountain Hawks defeated the Colonials, who were in last year's WNIT field. Erica Prosser added 11 points and Kristen Dalton pitched in with 10. It appeared as though American was on its way to 2-0, but High Point had something to say about it. The Eagles built a 14-6 lead early and moved it to 36-20 at halftime. The Eagles led by as many as 20 points 3 times in the second half, but High Point rallied with a 27-6 run to edge American. Michelle Kirk led all scorers with 20 points. Holy Cross is still looking for its first victory after dropping a 117-37 loss to number 1 ranked Connecticut Sunday. The Huskies have won 79 straight contests and now hold a 19-2 edge in the series against the Crusaders. Freshman Alex Smith had a team-high 12 points for Holy Cross. On Monday, junior center Trisha Oakes tallied a double-double with 19 points and 12 rebounds, But it wasn't enough as Colgate fell 66-56 at Siena. With the loss, the Raiders dropped to 0-2 on the season. Sophomore guard Jasmine Lynch had 11 points and a game-high 4 steals. The Raiders held a 32-30 halftime lead, but the Saints posted a 36-24 advantage in the second half to win by 10. Remember, you can follow all of men's and women's basketball Patriot League action on PatriotLeague.com. Be sure to come back to All Access next Tuesday, where we'll recap the entire weekend's action. And remember to subscribe to Patriot League All Access so you can watch all the Patriot League men's and women's basketball games right here on All Access. We'll see you next week.